Hello and welcome to the flagship episode of Absolutely True History, where we delve into the history of pop culture's biggest and darkest secrets. I am your host, Dr. Professor Raymond Donovan. In today's episode, we will be exploring the life and death of Transformers, the American animated television cartoon series program about robots that could transform into all manners of things, from jukebox stereos to the concept of hunger. Our story begins at the beginning. January 1953. Jeremy von Autobots was born at the age of 11 with a deformity known only as shrimpfoot. He was reportedly so hideous that everyone at school, teachers included, would call him Old Scraggly Jones. Keep in mind, this was the 1950s, so that insult was considered devastating at the time. During an interview with 60 Minutes, Jeremy is quoted as saying, "At the time I had one prevailing thought. If only I could transform myself from Old Scraggly Jones into anything else, perhaps I too could be worthy of love." Jeremy von Autobots, 1953. This idea spurred his lifelong passion for writing Transformers, which Jeremy would work on tirelessly for decades to come. Fast forward a quarter of a century into the future. The year is now 1953, and Transformers is debuting to television sets across America. In the pilot episode, we follow Optimus Prime, a young, sexy robot from Brooklyn, and his right-hand man, Dennis the Menace, as they go about town trying to raise funds to save their beloved community center. Meanwhile, scummy landlord and implied foot fetishist Megatron was trying to stop the duo so he could buy up the land for cheap and turn it into an industrial stray dog refinery. The episode was met with much critical acclaim and truly transformed the landscape of Saturday morning cartoons as we know it. The series introduced a cast of characters that are now considered iconic, including Bebop and Rocksteady, Love Disc, and of course, the 1987 Dallas Cowboys. However, not all characters were met with such universal praise. The Transformers team came under heavy fire when they revealed the very first instance of gay romance on television between Starscream and his lover, Alfonso. But it wasn't the nature of the relationship that people were truly upset about, but rather the carefully animated robot genitalia. In response to the outrage, Jeremy decided to kill off Starscream in a tragic motorcycle accident. Alfonso, stricken by grief, transformed himself into a Buick LeSabre and never transformed back. Alas, the damage was done and the Transformers franchise would never fully recover. The last ever episode, Optimus's Big Day, would air in January 1953. This episode featured Optimus on stage at the Apollo, ranting for an uninterrupted half hour about Israel. To this day, that episode remains a masterpiece for fans and critics alike. This ends the first ever episode of Absolutely True History. I'd like to say thank you for watching, but I'd also like to beg you to subscribe. Please. The winters here are so cold. The dark winds have already claimed Papa, and I too will succumb in time. Subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Subscribe to me now, please. Give me subscription. Subscribe me, please. Me a subscriptions needing a lot now.